This time we will be using nested if for finding out the penalty rate for overdue buy. If you look at this sheet, then in this MC invoice report sheet you can see that for some of the suppliers we have some overdues. For example, this was 12 days overdue, or this was 4 days overdue, or this was 10 days overdue, and so on and so forth. So for such overdues we have to pay some late fees, and this late fees is given here in this sheet, new penalties. If you look here, so if it is 0 days, then the penalty would be 0. If it is 1 day, then penalty would be 0. If it is 5 days, then penalty should be 2.25. If it is 10 days, then penalty should be 5.50. If it is up to 15 days, then it is 10.80, and above 15 days it should be 25.90. so either you can use vlookup here, or you can use nested if for doing the same job. So one is this vlookup which I have done here, but let me do this quick with nested if first, and then we will see that how we can do it instantly using vlookup. For this nested if, I will write the first clause if, then start with, it will ask for logical test. This logical test is if it is overdue by is greater than. If it is greater than, I will start with 1. If it is, I will start with less than. So if this overdue by is less than 1, less than or also equal to, less than equal to 1, if it is less than equal to 1, then I will charge penalty of 0. Otherwise, for the false case, again we use another if statement, if. Now write the second if inside this. Again the logical test is overdue by. If overdue by is less than, equal to. Now go to the second case. What is my second? I have to remove this equal to 1. If it is less than 1, then I want penalty of 0. If it is less than 5, then I want a penalty of 2.25, comma, if. Now for the false condition, another if again use the same thing, overdue by is this time if it is less than, I have done 1, I have done 5. If it is less than 10, then I want a penalty of 5.50. Still if it is false, then again another if for the false condition, and this time if overdue by is less than, this time it is 15. If it is less than 15, then I want penalty of 10.80, and final, if anything above 15, I want 25.90. So this is how I have created a nested if to get the penalties, and I will close the bracket. 1 if, 2 if, third one, and the final if. Enter. You can see that I am getting the penalty of for 12 days I am getting the penalty of 10.8. For 6 days I am getting the penalty of 5.5. Let's suppose I am writing 5 here, then I am getting the penalty of 5.50. Right, because this is how my condition is, that anything less than 5 I want the penalty of 2.25. If anything from 5 to 10, I want the penalty of 5.50, and so on and so forth. So this is how I set the condition, but normally this table is read like this, that if you are in this row, then you will read the penalty like this. If you are here, then you will take this penalty. So if you want to do this, then instead of what I have done here, less than, you can also make it. So here if I look at this formula, then I can see that for overdues by say 3, I can get answer of 2.25, but when I look at overdues for 5, I am getting 5.5. So how to read this table is very simple, that always check the values are row above. But then whenever this exact value is coming, for example 5, then up to 4 you will read 2.25, but for 5 you will read 5.50. Similarly, say I am writing here 9. For 9 you will get a value of 5.5, right? But for 10 you will get the value of 10.8. So for the exact value you will get the same row, but anything above this you will get a row above. So this is how you should read this table, and you can cross verify this by using vlookup also, that what logic we have applied so far is correct or not. So let me delete this. Here we have, I'm using here vlookup again, and this is what my formula looks like. I is equal to vlookup. The first thing it will ask is that, sir, what is it you are interested in looking at? So I am interested in looking at this overdue by. For example, here it is 10 days, 3 days, 6 days, 4 days, 1 day, like that. So I am interested in looking at overdues by, first thing. Then second, it will ask that, sir, where is your data setting? So my data setting here, T20 to U25. Then I will freeze this T20 to U25 so that I will not face the problem related to referencing. Then the next thing it will ask that, sir, which is your column in which you are interested. So I am interested in second column. And lastly, I will take approximate match because my values are not fixed. So after passing these 4 arguments, I will get these as my late charges, and now I will compare the results of nested if with vlookup, and this is the same. So what I was doing through clumsy nested if, I was easily getting the answers through using vlookup. So vlookup is better. And one more thing you have to remember, that if you look at the exact values, for example, when penalty day was 1, the late charges was 2.25. When it was 5, then the late charges were 5.50. When it was 10, then 10.80. But if it was 9 days, then it was 5.50. If it was 4 days, then it was 2.25. So while using such tables, always be careful about this thing, that for the exact value you will use the row, same row, but for value less than that, for example for 4 days, you will use a row above. So I hope that the difference of nested if and vlookup is clear.